Hello and welcome. My name is Abigail White, amateur artist. And on my birthday this year, I reached a very important artist milestone. At least it's very important to me. And that is that I finally completed a sketchbook. I have had many sketchbooks over the last 2 years that I have spent trying to become an artist. But I've never finished a single one. So, yeah, having a completed one is like a huge accomplishment for me. I have major commitment issues. So, yeah, it was completed 2/17/17, and it's a watercolor sketchbook. It is a Pentelic Aqua journal. And it's pretty cool sketchbook. It's one of my favorites because it has a pen loop where you can hold travel brushes, and it has a bookmark so you can keep your place, elastic closure, and the paper is really good. Like, I can do heavy washes on both sides of the paper and it's totally fine. A little crinkly, but other than that, it's fine. It doesn't pill like at all, which is a huge plus for me. I hate when paper pills. So, yeah, and they aren't that expensive. They're a bit cheaper than Moleskine journals, watercolor album things. And the paper is way better, so yeah. Like the small one, which is like the size of my hand. It's only like $12 on Amazon. And then the bigger one, which is like a standard Moleskine journal size, except it's in landscape format. It's like $14 on Amazon, so yeah, pretty darn sweet. But you are here for a sketchbook tour, not for my haphazard review of the sketchbook itself. So, without further ado, let us begin. Doo-doo. Alrighty, so on to the actual sketchbook tour. It was completed 2/17/17. It has sketchbook horribly misspelled. And I had bought this sketchbook back in September. Yes, September. To document my trip to Orlando, Florida to visit Universal Studios. So the first few paintings are just what I did in the car on the way there. We drove from Virginia all the way down to Florida. I know for like New Yorkers that's not much of a drive, but well, then again, not New Yorker won't just fly a plane if the drive's gonna be that. Okay, so anyways, that was my bunny. Okay, so here's an overpass on the interstate. This is the first drawing that I did. I mean painting. And then here's a forest. Again on the interstate. This is a little quick painting of my dad driving the car. I did not do good, so let's ignore that. And here's a forest on the interstate in Florida. And the cool thing about forests in Florida is that there are little palm tree saplings like everywhere, and that's what these little lighter green things are. And then we finally got to Universal Studios. And there was an Annie Ann's right outside of the Universal Studios, like the park Universal Studios, because there are two parks at Universal. Anyways, so I had a great view of the entrance to Universal Studios, so I painted it while I was eating breakfast at Annie Ann's. And then this is just a roller coaster that was farther off in the distance from the same spot. I think it's called the Rockin' Roller Coaster, I'm not sure. And then at Jurassic Park, I got a geode necklace. JJ, hush. Okay, he's going to sleep. Anyways, I got a geode necklace with this really cool, like, brown, rusty color and then black on the outside. And then it has this beautiful black and white marbling on the inside, in addition to the normal geode sparkles. This was actually supposed to be my sister reading in the car, but yeah, the drawing did not turn out well, so I changed her knee into a mountain and her body into a mountain, and then added fog and a sunset. And I called it Imagine Sunset in the Mountains. And here's some tree with moss hanging moss, that's the thing in Skyrim. I think this is called Spanish moss though. In some swampland area. And this, I think, was on the last day of the drive back. And I did a quick doodle of a random chick. Because why not? And then I really wanted to paint my sister, so I did a close-up of her face as she was reading. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. Pretty good. And then this is after the trip. This was actually on my way to a haircut in Portsmouth. So it was like a kind of short drive. And so I quickly just jotted down 2 girls and gave them a background and colored in their hair and eyes and stuff. And here's another card doodle. And this is of Xiao Hong, who is my only doll Chiao. I collect BJDs, so I like to draw them. This is before I changed her face up and gave her natural colored hair. So this is kind of what her factory face up looks like, with a little flower on her forehead. This is another try at urban sketching. Like, these were my first tries at urban sketching. This one was kind of successful, this one sucks. This one I'm probably the most happy with, even though I didn't use any marker, but marker is so not a requirement. Anyways. So this is a church that I pass every now and then, and I just loved how the walls like jutted out like this, and the playground and the tombstone, so I was like, real quick, as we pass it by, gonna real quick just sketch it out. And this is an angel statue that is by our pond in our backyard. It holds some significance to my family, so I like to draw it and paint it and everything it. Well, not everything it, you know. Anyways. And this is the pond with the angel statue right there. This is a unfinished construction worker because the car was moving too fast and I didn't get it finished. This is actually a view of my house from laying down on the deck in the backyard. So here's the gutter, here's a window, trees looming over the house, you know. I went a little heavy on the black, but it looks good on camera, sorta. So I guess I'll manage. For this hummingbird, I actually got iridescent watercolors, and my first instinct was to draw a hummingbird because hummingbirds are very sparkly. You can't really see the sparkle though, because they are cheap iridescent watercolors. They were like $5 for a set of like 12 colors, so I was like, sure, why not? And this is another picture of Xiao Hong. This is after I changed her face up and gave her an alpaca hair wig that I made. And then here's a leaf that I found in my backyard and decided to paint. Unfinished. This is a sunset from my front porch. There are trees and a house in the way, right where the sun likes to set, so I don't know, I really enjoy painting this sunset. I'd do it again later without the India ink. This is India ink, the black. And then here's a little rock turtle. Yeah, it's just a turtle that hangs out at the pond that's made of rock. This is supposed to be the pond. It looks horrible though. It looks more like an eyeball than it does the pond, so ignore this. This, however, is my sister's eyeball. This is supposed to look like an eyeball. And yeah, I really enjoy painting eyes because they're just so complicated, I guess, especially the iris, but I can never get the iris to look quite right. You know, it's too many layers. This is a horrible drawing of my mom at the psychiatrist and my psychiatrist. The reason I did these two is because my mom was moving her hands around a lot and I wanted to try and capture that, but I failed. And I did the psychiatrist because I wanted to get the harmony symbol in the background. Because I like Chinese characters, they're cool looking. And here's that same sunset, but with watercolors instead of India ink. Unfinished. And then this is when I start experimenting with gouache. This is just a freehand painting that I did of just some girl that I imagined, so it kind of sucks. Actually, it really sucks. Ignore it. This mermaid, however, I did have reference for. I used a spiced rum, spiced rum advertisement with a pinup mermaid on it, and I changed her pose a little to make it more coy, less sexy. And yeah, this is my pinup mermaid in gouache. This is my most successful watercolor piece in this whole sketchbook. Actually, it might be my most successful watercolor piece ever. But it's a pinup girl. And yeah, this is done completely in watercolor, which is amazing to me because I can never get this much depth in watercolor. And this is the same pinup girl, but I stylized her heavily. Ignore this. This is supposed to be my new doll, my new BJD, but yeah, it looks horrible. So ignore this. And here is a patriotic drag queen, because drag queen's for president. I don't know. Sure, why not? Sounds good to me. And she's going no shade. And here's a tunnel of trees leading to a magical land. This is another pinup girl. I like pinups, okay? And this one was done completely in gouache. I'm also happy with the amount of depth in this one. And then this was supposed to be a pinup girl laying down. But the more I painted, the smaller her eyes got until they were pretty much gone. And now she looks drunk. But she reminds me of Adora Delano. So I kind of like it. And then here's the pond up close with the water waving and little flowers. And that is the end. Oh, and it has a pocket. I'll close that. So that is my first completed sketchbook. I believe it was 24 pages, so 48 sheets. And yeah. So now I'm going to do a quick little silent flip through for those that don't want to hear me talk. Yeah. Alright.